Let's, I guess, start with rookie camp. You had a chance to be out on the ice with all the youngsters in the organization. How do you feel that went this week?
I thought it went very well. You know, I know there was a lot of anticipation for rookie camp. We're very excited about all of our young prospects, and it really was an opportunity for the guys to get acclimated to the older guys that are here. We ran them through about a 45-minute practice with just the rookies. Then after that, they went over and scrimmage with the veterans. So, you know, it gives the guys a chance just to be around this environment. A lot of these guys have never been in an NHL camp before. Kind of get the butterflies out for the first 2 or 3 days, and give them a comfort level when training camp starts.
You went through it for the first time last year. Was it? It had to have been, not to say you were nervous last year, but it was a first-time thing. How do you feel in terms of year number 2 at this point?
I'm excited. You know, anytime you take a new job or a new endeavor, there's always a learning curve, and you know, this year it's just easier. And you know, obviously we've been through it once before, and Lappy and I are so excited about our season. Obviously we've had success up top here last year, and we're looking to follow that up in Lake Erie with a very successful season. And you know, we really feel good about our team. We think the organization has done a great job creating depth, and we're going to be able to withstand the call-ups and the injuries, and we think we're in a good position to have a successful season.
The 3 guys that are signed with our club, I mean, obviously they could still make the team, but Matt Ford, Travis Garlitz, and Patrick Bordelot, can you give me a thought on what you've seen out of those guys so far?
They've done a great job. They all came in great condition. You know, the conditioning test, our guys did very, very well. They showed that they made a commitment over the summer. They all came in better shape. They were stronger, faster. Actually, all of them were a little bit heavier, but with lower body fat. So it really, you know, we're not surprised, because that was one of the reasons why David Oliver and I went to bat for them. And you know, their place certainly awarded an opportunity to come here and experience their first NHL training camp.
So what's obviously another day at camp here, and then some exhibition games over the coming week. So what's your role in the rest of camp here?
Well, we've got the training camp divided into 3 teams, and each team will play twice a day, and they have 1 practice. So I'll run 1 practice, Lappy will run a practice. Joe kind of just watches all the games to evaluate the players and make decisions on some key guys, and then I get to watch the other 2 games and evaluate as well. So it's a full 3-hour day, and it's, you know, then there's a lot of meetings going on after that and discussion. And, there's some spots available, and it's a very competitive camp.
Speaking of Joe, one more thing. We talked to him at length yesterday, and the guys we've talked to here that are up, that obviously spent time with our club, and the importance of that and how much of a role that's played, obviously, in Colorado. I joked with him. I said, I guess it's a prerequisite. You have to have gone to BU to be a coach here, right?
Well, if you're going to go anyway, you might as well go to BU, right? Nothing wrong with that.
Honestly.
We get a lot of heat, Joe and I do.
Yeah.
We've got also 4 BU guys that are
right
here in camp, so it's 5 actually. So it's we get our fair share of heat, but you know, they're all good players, and they all deserve to be here.
Yeah. On a serious note, you know me, I got to throw a little humor in there,
absolutely.
at least try to.
Attempted humor.
Attempted humor, yes, thanks. My biggest fan here. But on a serious note, talking to those guys and seeing, I mean, I remember when I met you last year, and I was like, you're going to make the playoffs this year. I didn't totally understand that. I know at our level and our team, we want to win games and be in the playoffs. But the number one thing, is it fair to say, is getting these guys to the next level, which this organization's done a heck of a job at doing.
It is. And, you know, when you're the youngest team in the NHL, your American Hockey League team will suffer. But that is no excuse. We really felt like we were close last year. It just, you know, we got off to such a tough start. We dug ourselves a hole we couldn't get out of. And, you know, I think with the makeup of our team, I don't think we're going to be in that position this year. I really like the depth, like I said, of our organization. I think we're going to be able to withstand the call-ups and the injuries. Every team goes through it. We weren't the only team that had call-ups and injuries last year. It's not an excuse. It's a fact of life in the American Hockey League. But I know our organization is awfully proud of what's transpired over the last 3 years. And if you look at the Avalanche roster, it's filled with Lake Erie Monsters. And they're the youngest team in the NHL and probably the most exciting team to watch. And they're going to be very successful this year, and so are the Lake Erie Monsters.